Hey guys, welcome back to another Origins of Origins video. Today I am blessed with the presence of Mr. GetSniperd. Sniperd, how you doing?
Yo, doing good.
Good, good. So yeah, basically I usually start these interviews by asking kind of Origins-based questions like, well, first of all, I'd like to know where you think you line up in terms of skill in the game itself. I imagine you've played a decent amount, so kind of where do you think you rank with the against the coin team?
Okay, I want to say I'm mid to upper. I don't think I'm the
Okay.
best at it, but I definitely think I could put up a good fight with any of the other team members.
Okay. And
I play the
Sorry, go ahead.
no, you're good. I was gonna say I've played quite a bit of other TCGs, and I've been really into some niche ones in the past, Card Fight Vanguard and things along those lines. But
Okay.
I really enjoy Origins. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. So which deck or like which playstyle do you like using in Origins?
I've always been a fan of control decks, so I've been playing a lot of the Merlin. Merlin's probably my favorite. I like the deck as well, because they give you a bit more, I feel, interaction in each match.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of
High risk, high reward for sure. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I kind of like those decks too. Um I like to have some sort of, you know, skill involved in the deck. If it's too straightforward and I'm like shooting for the same thing every game, it's uninteresting quick for me. So yeah, I like those types of decks as well.
Feel like I get bored if I'm just playing aggro or wide
Yeah,
because hit face, hit face, hit face. Next
exactly.
match.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Okay. So I was curious, kind of how long you've been with the Coin team. Have you been here close to start, or are you a little bit newer?
So they've been in development, or we've been in development, I think almost 4 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I started last January. So it's been almost 2 years helping out the coin team.
Okay. Nice. And what's your role within the team?
So officially, I'm the executive assistant. So if you guys have seen Tim, I'm the guy that works for him, and I kind of have my hands in a lot of different bowls over at
Mm-hmm.
Coin, but that's my official role.
Okay. Nice. So how'd you get started with that sort of role? Did you have experience doing assistant stuff before, or did you kind of just have it in with them?
So it's a really interesting story, at least from my point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Tim and I, he's the CEO. We actually ended up at the same church a few
Mm.
years back, and I really just he talked to the church a few times about what he's doing and how things are moving, and that he was making a video game. And one day, I just felt like what, I just need to go up to him and see like, hey, I just love to be a part of what you're doing. I love the game that you've been showing off a little bit, and I'll work for free, just want to be around you and learn from kind of, the knowledge and experience that you have.
Mm-hmm.
And, he kind of was hesitant because he didn't know me that well. He knew that I worked in kind of the media area. So I worked on live streams, I worked on camera production. And so he basically said, I'll get back to you on that. And then a few months later, he was like, you know what? I'd actually like to work with you too. And so then we started if you guys heard or saw the video, The Magic of Card Games, I helped, produce and direct that one along with another friend of mine. And so that's how I kind of got my in with Tim, was the media knowledge that I had. And then from there, yeah, from there, I picked up more work and ended up, going full time.
Nice. I'm assuming. I think I saw Tim on his like Twitter. It says he's a follower of God or something, and so he's Christian. I'm assuming.
Yeah, so we're both Christian, and he goes to the River Church over in Tampa, and he actually has traveled before and ministered at other churches as well.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm Christian too, so that's really cool that you guys connected through there. I was gonna just say like, I wish I had something like that at my church. I need someone pitching their games at my church, and I can go up to them. But that's really cool to kind of find each other that way.
Yeah, I was super happy about that, and especially that he reached back out to me. It's just been such a great opportunity at Coin. I've learned so much being there so far, and yeah, I mean, hey, maybe there'll be a you in your church, and you'll be the guy that's
Yeah,
actually going to be able to help others.
yeah,
Your YouTube
yeah,
channel will blow up with all this Origins TCG content.
yeah. That's the dream, but we'll have to see. So with the like media side of things, were you doing that for your church, or did you just have a job doing that, or How'd you get started
So
within that?
I was volunteering for since I was like 12 in churches, and so I ended up going to college at the river, and after that they hired me full time for a few different roles there. I mean, I worked like three or four different jobs. I was on the road team. I was traveling, setting up live streams in Africa and all over the
Mm,
country. I also, held down the fort at the actual church building and made sure that the stream was live. I produced a lot of the live events while I was there, and yeah, so I kind of had a background in that, and then that just helped on the video production side at Coin as well, and even getting content made.
yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. So you said in Africa, were you like helping with like a mission trip there?
Yeah, so we did 6 weeks of crusades throughout Africa, and we were in either a different country every 3 days or a different city every day while we
Hmm.
were over there. So I've been through 10 different countries over there.
Wow.
A lot of my favorites over there. Nigeria is absolutely incredible. It's beautiful. Some of the greenest greens you'll ever see.
Hmm.
I mean, it's crazy how, different things can look over there, especially when there's not a city every mile or every 5 miles like you see in America, a lot of places. It's gorgeous.
Hmm. Yeah, that's super cool. I actually went on well, I was when I was like 5-ish. My parents were missionaries in Ecuador, so I was able to go with them there for about 3 years. And then I almost went to Africa when with my mom in like 7th grade. She did a mission over there, and then it had something to do with like Boko Haram, you know, being kind of widespread. So we ended up not doing that. But yeah, I just missed out on going there too for some
Oh
sort of
man.
mission. So that would been cool.
Yeah, I haven't got been to South America yet, but I definitely look forward to doing it one day.
Yeah, it's super cool. I think some of the areas are getting better, like El Salvador, and other areas like I would love to go back to Ecuador, but politically, I think it's gone a little downhill in that area, unfortunately. But
That's
yeah,
all
it's
right.
super
There's always
cool.
a way.
Yeah, definitely. And that's just like
I
big
traveled
cities.
during COVID time to Africa, so you can
Mm,
really, if you've got either the money, the know-how, or the connections, you'll figure it out.
yeah, for sure. What is something that you've picked up or that you've like learned with this kind of because it's a cool gig, and like you said, you have your hands in all sorts of different you know things that you didn't expect. So I guess what have you picked up that you've enjoyed or that you want to like kind of continue growing in?
No, I mean, there's a bunch of different things. I mean, even from the start, it was, how do you actually pitch a game or an idea to somebody to get them to kind of see the vision you have for it or to
Hmm.
see the potential of what's in it, How do you get them from knowing nothing about it to being more excited than you are, in the same conversation? And not just because you're trying to hype them up, but because, you believe in the product because you've seen it. And so now you're trying to get them to see what you believe.
Hmm.
And so that's one huge thing I've picked up from Tim because he has an immense amount of sales background
Hmm.
and he's so well spoken when it comes to just, information and what people need to know and how to get them that information and the ways of delivering it. So that's been a huge one. And then just the immensity of what it takes to build a game the right way. Because, you see indie devs pop up all the time. They spent 3 years developing this, one person did, and it's phenomenal. And you're like, man, after having worked at a studio, you're like the amount of hours that guy had to put into it, the sleepless nights or everybody telling him that the game's not going to do well. You start to realize just what it takes to do something like that on your own, and you have a new appreciation for game development in general because how much work goes into it. I was raised on very little video games and not playing a whole lot of them because they're a distraction and things along those lines, which it's come full circle now, and everyone plays games now. It's so mainstream. You
Hmm.
talk to almost anybody and they play. And so it just gave me a new appreciation for it as an art form rather than just, a toy kids play with.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, I agree. I'm always surprised by like how games have changed. Obviously, with technology going crazy, they're bound to change. But the price has stayed the same. But I feel like there's so much more work going into the expectations are just so much higher with games nowadays. Um, but like the prices, you're still paying $60-$70 for a game. That's exactly what you'd pay for like a GameCube game in 2006 or whatever. So
Right. And yeah, I mean, you're right. The gaming market has stayed pretty consistent over the years, and it's just now starting to see an upward trend I mean, you have GTA 6 coming out at $80
Hmm.
as a standard now. I mean, a lot of companies are going to see that and raise their prices. Thankfully, Origins TCG, free to play, free to
Free to
compete.
play, exactly.
Looking
Yeah.
forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I mean that's one of my favorite models. As long as it's done right. You
Yeah.
get to play the game. Like if I was a kid, I would have loved to have played Origins.
Hmm.
It's free. I could actually, earn cool collectibles just by playing the game, and it's a fun card game. We didn't have digital card games really. When I was a kid, I
Hmm.
would have been all over that stuff. I would have been sweating it at home right after school or skipping school to play this game.
Yeah. Yeah. Me
Don't
too.
do that. Don't skip school, kids. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I love the model that I want to say like kind of Fortnite um, created the battle pass model, and that's kind of changed a little bit. And like I think Origins will have aspects of that, and you could speak to
hmm
that if you wanted to. But yeah, I think it's a really interesting model to really boost your available kind of market because it's accessible to everyone, and then you end up actually making more money oftentimes because there's more ways to make money. You don't pay a flat fee and then you're done paying. There's you can buy collectibles, stuff like that.
Right. And
So
now I don't want to say that we're not going to have a battle pass or something along those lines, but I
mhm,
think the way that we have for people to get customizables, everyone's really going to enjoy. I don't know how public it is yet because I know they're still, going over stuff a lot, but that's one of my favorite models that they actually put forward for the way to, monetize it to the masses. So I'm excited for that. Look forward to it. It's not going to be super like, oh, you have to pay this amount every single day to get, cards or packs and stuff along those lines. Because a lot
mhm.
of people in the Discord want to know about progression and how things are looking that way. And just know I'm excited. I mean, I know a lot of them don't know me very well, but trust me, I like to get my money's worth. I'll tell you that much.
How come we don't see you more often in the Discord? Because I remember seeing your name and like thinking that was new.
Honestly, a lot of it is I am there. I just lurk a lot,
Little
and
lurker, yeah.
we have dedicated people like Apex's and Fenchurch are like the dedicated,
Hmm.
people who talk about the game or answer questions because they've really been with it for so long,
Hmm.
and so they know it by heart at this point. And there's a lot of areas I'm still hesitant to respond to.
Hmm.
I'm there for the AMAs, I'm there for the playtest, and you'll see a lot more of me in the coming weeks. But I'm more on the road team side as well. So I was at Card Party that we had a few weeks ago. I'd have loved to have seen some more of the community from Discord come out there and talk to you guys and maybe
Hmm.
play a few games or something. But yeah, I'm more of an in-person guy, but I definitely enjoy the Discord and look forward to talking to you guys more. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. I'm not closed off in the slightest.
Gotcha. Yeah, it was more like, I just love, having the personalities of the team. So I wouldn't want you to feel like you need to go in there and, be teaching people things or like explaining things. It's just, fun to have the team be a part of it. And that's just
Oh
a
yeah,
cool
no,
part.
I mean, I love. My favorite part is picking on the other team members. If you ever hear me reference the turkey sandwich, that's me
Mm.
picking on Brad, or things along those lines, because
Mhm.
those guys are awesome. So I love messing with them.
Yeah, I wish I could have made it out to Fort Lauderdale. I was joking with Apex because I managed to go to the GDC in San Francisco because my brother was there.
hmm
Um, but yeah, didn't have any brothers in Fort Lauderdale. But how'd that event go for you?
That event was awesome. I mean, we talked to 1,000+ people about the game, and really got to see the community and like people's faces light up when they saw the card arts and the pack opening and things along those lines. And well, if you've got another brother in Texas, we'll be at Dallas for the 4th through the 6th as well. And we're going to be
Okay.
doing a lot more events, so we'll definitely have to catch you for one of the next ones. Love to see you in person too.
Yeah, it'd be super fun. I would love to make it out to as many as I can, but I'm finishing up school right now, so financially it's a bit tough. But yeah, like we said, once this YouTube channel starts popping off, I'll make it to every
hmm
event.
Awesome. What are you in school for?
Just business administration. So
Awesome.
yeah,
You can go anywhere.
yeah, that was the approach was just broad and
hmm
get something under my belt. So yeah, I've got just starting my last class for that, so I got like 5 weeks left, including this week. So excited to be done with
Awesome.
that, and then
Congrats.
yeah, thank you, and then yeah, we'll see from there. What are you most excited for coming up with Origins?
Oh man, I want to start ripping packs. I want to rip packs so bad, man. It's a problem. My paycheck's gonna disappear probably once we start actually letting people open them, and when this Kickstarter comes out,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm very excited for that. And then on top of that, I really want to see the competitive scene thrive, as I
Mm-hmm.
know it will. I liked playing the Hearthstone ladder and the way that they, designed it so you go through the ranks and then you hit legend and then you have like that direct one-to-one of where you are in reference to other people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know exactly how the design team has it planned out, but I'm very excited. I can't, I know I'm a dev, but I should be able to, compete against everybody else and, get that experience and enjoy it. Even if, I don't end up number one, hey, maybe I'll grind for it one time,
Mm-hmm.
and then I can get hated on by everybody by just saying it's because I'm a dev and I cheated it. Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I'm excited for the competitive scene too. I think I forget who I said it to, but I
You
mentioned
think
like
you're excited? Hmm?
no, I'm super
I'm messing
excited,
with
but
you.
yeah, I told someone like, there's a few aspects of the game that haven't been fleshed out, at least to us. Like we haven't been told exactly what's going on, but just based on like the art and the how things have progressed, I just think you guys are smashing it in like every way possible. So I'm, expecting and anticipating it to be extremely well done, just like everything else you guys have done.
Yeah, yeah, I love our design team. I mean, if I'm being honest, our art team I think is our best department because they honestly have crushed it. But our design team is definitely giving them a run for their money.
Yeah,
Don't
the
tell design I said that.
the art team was Claude and ChatGPT. And
No, 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 no.
no, I know.
Everything's hand drawn. You got
I'm
the
just
illustrators
joking.
at the bottom. I love
Yeah.
the fact that on the cards you can actually see who illustrated it
Hmm.
because seeing those familiar names and seeing people so excited when they see the cards makes me happy.
Yeah, yeah. And I wanted to ask because you were talking about ripping packs. What's your chase card? And obviously we haven't seen a
Oh,
ton, but do you have a like
I know
insight on the
there's some
one?
good ones. I like the alt art Rapunzel, the alt art Cinderella. The regular Cinderella by itself is great, but I'm going to be chasing those tens. Like an
Mm-hmm.
Oblivion and a 10, I think would be awesome. That's one of my favorite cards now. Um, I mean, there's some alt arts that I don't even know if they've made yet, but I'd be so excited to see, like a Paul Bunyan in an alt art.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, a Merlin alt art would be cool. I really like some of them. They have a what's the word I'm looking for? It's the magical girl. Which one? What's she called again?
Magical girl. I feel
Sailor
like
Moon style.
oh
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
oh yeah, yeah.
That
The
I
picture
love that
that's
style of
yeah.
artwork. The '90s kind of early '90s style.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if the how much of the um collectible slash like the expensive cards, how much that's going to be based on just the artwork or just the usability in game, because I think with most games you see um the most expensive cards are usually the most like useful, like the op in CS:GO, the AK. Those are the ones used like every game, every round almost.
Right.
So I wonder how much
So
that
you'll have
will
the meta
reflect.
cards probably. If I could make a prediction,
Mm,
I'd say the meta cards are always going to do well as far as their alternate arts. But because we are free to compete, of course, most cards are going to be pretty even, I want to say,
mm-hmm,
because there's so many different archetype decks, and our team does a good job of balancing from what I've seen. There's
mm-hmm,
nothing like crazy stronger than another, and the matchups really define a lot, and the locations add a lot of variance. So I feel like it's going to be a good blend. I don't think there's ever going to be really throwaway cards or things along that lines. I think there's going to be a few that shine for sure. I mean, you're always going to have girls do better than guys a lot of the time, and then you'll
mm-hmm.
have certain cards like Big Bad Wolf. I think is going to do incredible
Just
because
like
I love
staples.
the alt artworks on him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm,
Oh yeah. I mean, there's people favorite myths and legends from history. So I
mm-hmm,
think Robin Hood is going to do exceptionally well. Just some cards along those lines. It's kind of hard to predict because you have people all around the world that are going to be playing it, and you'll have all these different myths and legends from all the different countries, and I don't know. I think they're all going to do pretty well.
mm-hmm. Now I might start prying a little bit for unreleased info, but what is your most like what set are you most excited for? Because I think maybe it was Tim who said they've got like a hollow. No, he said the Christmas uh time. He's gonna be Christmas related cards. Do you have, if you're allowed to, do you have like a set that
Right.
you're really excited for?
I don't think I have any in particular. I think I'm maybe a little biased on cards that have yet to come out yet because I've seen a lot of the ones that we play with for so long.
Hmm.
But there is I want to say a commander or hero, I can't remember what they're calling him at the moment, that I'm really excited for. And I'll say for sure he's going to have a target painted on him. And
Mm,
he's going to be a lot of people's favorite. He's
okay.
going to be a lot of favorite. Yep.
Yeah, that was the one that Apex teased, right? And no one was able
Oh
to like
yeah,
guess, I don't
I'm
think.
very excited for that. Yep.
Yeah, he said it was gonna be a crowd favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm excited to see the commanders. That was kind of added in the last couple playtests, I want to say. And
Yes.
I'm a fan of kind of owning or kind of making a certain thing yours by like using it all the
Yep.
time. And so I think the commanders are a nice touch with that, where it's
I mean, you
like,
have some OG stuff, from the Hearthstone days, like what is it, like 4 + 11 = 21 or something from Wreckful missing lethal at BlizzCon, things
mm,
along those lines. Like you're not gonna think back to like, the early Mage deck without thinking of certain people that really popularized it or did well.
mm-hmm. I think that's kind of cool that you guys have an aspect. It's also, I keep talking about Fortnite. I swear I don't even play it anymore. But you got like Tfue who popularized a skin and like that became the Tfue skin. So obviously people will have specific decks they like, but the commanders having a or commanders being kind of a way to people kind of show their personality in game or kind of
Hmm.
yeah
Oh yeah.
make something iconic. That's really cool.
Hopefully it never gets to the point like Overwatch where you feel like every Mercy is an e-girl on your
Mm,
team.
yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I heard Justify is trying to keep the e-girl side of things out of it. I'm gonna hoping to have an interview with him too, but I'll talk to him about that.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I want to listen to that one. I want to see what his opinion is on some stuff.
Yeah, I've heard he's just anytime there's a girl, he's against, any sort of e-girlification of the cards, but which
Yeah.
I'm all for, being against
I don't
because
know. I've seen Rapunzel. She looks kind of e-girl to me, but we'll find out.
yeah. It is a bit of a cash cow though, so he might be leaving money on the table, but
I
not
think we're okay leaving some money on the table for the state of the game.
yeah,
That's
that's
been a
fair.
big thing. It's not always about the money. We want to have a good game,
Hmm.
and from there the money will come naturally.
Yeah, for sure. So I have to end, I like to ask a question from the previous guest. So, Fenchurch, for example, did where would you want to live and why? But Thayer wanted to ask what your favorite game mechanic is from any game and why.
Ooh. Well, does that have to be the one that like created that mechanic?
No, I don't think so.
I'm gonna pick actually an OG one that a
Okay.
lot of people may not remember, but in the original, well, I guess in the trilogy of Spectrobes, you could carve out the fossil, and then you actually get to like speak into it like with a voice, and you had to like tune your voice to like a certain tone to get the monster to like come alive out of the fossils. And I thought that was the coolest thing.
Huh.
I still want to go back and play that game series again just because it felt so unique. And the fact that it came out of Disney is just the cherry on top. Like it blows me away. It's the funniest thing that Disney made one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask about that because I don't know. So Spectrobes, and
Hmm.
you use like a mic to.
Yeah, so it was on the first one was on the DS.
Uh,
So you had Spectrobes and you had Spectrobes like Beyond the Portal, and then Spectrobe Origins was finally on the Wii. But in the DS game, you would sit there, you'd go around collecting fossils and minerals, and using your stylus, you had to rub out all the dirt, and you had to like be careful not to crack it, or you'd get like a grade down.
mm,
And then by the end of it, you'd then go to a separate like incubator, and you'd have to match the tone or the certain frequency of the monster to get it to hatch. And so I'd spend like sometimes 3 to 5 minutes trying to get my voice to the right tone to get this guy to come alive out of the incubator. And it was frustrating sometimes in the moment, but by the end of it, I was so happy that like that mechanic was put in there. And it's those little touches that feel like, it's the opposite of quality of life. Like why would you want something that you feel like you actually have to put effort into, to be in the game, which a
hmm.
lot of games lack these days. But I feel like the immersion of it and kind of the joy of, hey, that was me. I didn't just push a button. Like I had to
Hmm.
actually do something for, that Spectre to come out.
Hmm.
It's the same reason the Wii became so popular. You have Wii Tennis that was like the biggest game for like a year because, you actually had to swing your hand or Wii Bowling, things along those lines. I like
Hmm.
those little nuances that they put in games that just, kind of bring it more to life.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds super cool. I'll have to look into that. I might throw a clip of it onto the screen just in case other people are like me and are not sure. But that sounds like a lot of fun. Well, then I have to ask, of course, what your question is for the next guest.
If you could only eat one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Okay, perfect. Is that targeted at Justify? Because I think he told me he's into like cooking, so that would be a great
Oh
question
no,
for
that
him.
was just in general. I have a
Okay.
bag of candy sitting next to me,
Oh,
and
there you
so I
go.
was thinking of making it more specific. Like if you could only eat one candy for the rest of
Mm.
your life, or like as your food every
Mm-hmm.
day, what would it be? But I figured just one food in general is pretty tough one to get.
Okay, yeah, that's funny. All right, well, now I'm interested what your answer to that question is.
Oh, that's tough because then you have me like I'll kind of analyze sometimes.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
like, all right, what has the nutrition that I need? What is gonna be able to be cooked a bunch of different ways. So for
Mm.
me, my go-to would be steak. You can eat steak a bunch of different ways. It's got, a lot of your basic nutrients in it, and it just tastes good. I don't think I'd ever be upset really to see a steak on my plate.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a good one. Yeah, fair enough. All right, well, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate your time. And do you have any closing statements?
No, no, I mean, I'd love to see some guys over at Card Party as we're doing them. I'd love to come out and see your faces, and I'll be more active in the Discord. I received the correction, pseudo, and I look forward to seeing this on your channel.
Perfect. Thank you so much. All right, have a good one.
You too.